Hi, this is Bill Spatrino. Today is January 25th, 2019. First of all, yesterday was my mom's birthday, and I want to tell everybody, just be thankful that you have parents that are still living if you do, and if you don't, be thankful for everybody in your family that you still have. And it's funny because, without my mom, people say to me all the time, they say, Jesus, you did all this. You're like most boys, you think they're like their dad. It's like me. I'm stubborn like my mom. I mean, I got my stubbornness from my dad. From my mom. I got my craziness from my dad, and they're both listening. I just got back from a Spatrino fair in Florida with my dad and a lot of my subscribers, and I appreciate everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, I was told I would never do it. I've done it. Please subscribe. Once I get to 1,000, we will be featured by YouTube. Facebook banned me on my account. They don't like the Truth Channel. They don't like me talking the truth, and I'm doing some research on them, and eventually we're going to be featuring them in one of the Truth Machines. But I've got so many other things that we need to talk about. And please keep your feedback coming. I appreciate it. Basically, we're going to talk about the fake news and how dishonest the media is. The reason we're doing this is because the Truth Channel, if the media did their job, there wouldn't be need for this. Okay, two things happened over the weekend that were really, even for the media, was bad. Okay, first of all, the Covington kids, there was a total farce. This Nathan, I'm not even going to put his name out there because the guy was paid by George Soros, okay? Let's be honest. He was paid by somebody to try to aggravate 16-year-old kids, okay? These are kids. These are minors. And they're hoping they're going to make a mistake, okay? That kid stood there and was like just standing there while that guy was beating that drum. Now, my buddies that I went to school with, and a lot of you are listeners from Mayfield High School, know that if that would have happened to someone in my senior class, Looper or somebody would have corked him, okay? Lombo, Tommy, Joe, you guys would have clocked that guy, okay? And we would have stomped on him, and it wouldn't have looked real good, okay? For him, he'd have been down on the ground, okay? That kid was just being nice to him, okay? But they were trying to provoke him, and he was smart enough to understand. They had this other group of people, people are trying to make them out that they were African Americans that were trying to cause the trouble. Look, man, I don't know who was causing the trouble, okay? All I know is that they were trying to set those kids up because of the hats. And then you know how it was set up? This Congressman Yarmouth was trying to tell people that there should be a bill saying that these hats incite violence. Okay, it's just like Facebook. I called someone a clown, and they said comic relief, and I was banned. But yet, they threatened, people on Twitter have threatened, and Facebook threatened these kids over the weekend. But that's not hate speech. Threatening to kill someone is a lot worse than calling someone comic relief or calling them a clown. Okay, I called someone an ass clown. Okay, they deserved it. Okay, truth be told. They deserved it. What's even worse is that you got a bunch of adults. You have one writer for Saturday Night Live. This lady needs to get fired. She was offering oral sex, we'll just say, for anybody that punches these kids. And many people were asking for violence on these kids and promising them things. The fact that you would do that, these are not even grown-ups. These are minors, okay? Imagine if this was reversed. And someone said to me, Billy, what's wrong? I said, look, we all have to stand up, especially those of us who are retired. I was talking to one of my subscribers, Don. He used to play football for Woody Hayes. He had a great upbringing. He had Woody Hayes and Augie Bush as his two mentors, and his dad. Okay, 3 great mentors. And he said, I'm starting to get sick of these people, Bill. And I said, you know what? Don, we're in the middle of a civil war, and our team, we don't ban guns. The people on our side will, if there is some kind of ruckus, I'm betting on us. Okay, and that's all I'll say. I'm not trying to incite violence. I'm just telling someone that if they want violence, they are going to talk to one of the people listening to this. They're going to get it. Okay, they're going to get it. My dad wears his Make America Great hat, and I hope nobody tries to take it off his head. That's all I can hope for them, for their sake. Okay. I mean, what's the guy going to do? Hit you with his purse? But it was a very, very, it was a setup. They tried to set these poor kids. And I say poor kids, I'm hoping we should take up a collection for them and raise like $1 million and make these kids rich. Okay, because they actually stood up. Like I said, if you'd have done that to one of the kids at my high school, or any of the kids I grew up with, you would have got clocked. I'm just telling you, that guy beating that drum would have been, the thing he was hitting the drum with would have been shoved somewhere where the sun doesn't shine. Okay, I'm trying to keep it clean here so YouTube doesn't ban me. Okay, but you guys all can read between the lines. Okay. The second thing was this weekend, there was a Right to Life march. Okay, it's the biggest anti-abortion march in the country. Okay, every year, annually. Okay, biggest one. They started out how many years ago? They had about 20,000. People on Facebook were trying to say there was 500,000. This is the Truth Channel, okay? And I don't just spin things one way. From the research that we did, there was probably, they expected around 100,000 people. I don't know how many people were there. It doesn't matter. What matters is the media wouldn't cover it. Now, mind you, there'll be 15 protesters, okay? I went to the inauguration, me and my buddy Dave, okay? And he works for the government. We walked in. There was rumors, all these protesters. Folks, there was this large group that they said was there. I walked in the main entrance as he did. Okay, there was only one entrance. I don't think there were 15 people there. Okay, and the people that were there were like weak. You could tell they were either paid or they were the biggest wimps in the world. Okay, they couldn't have. I mean, supposedly Scott Baio got punched. All these people got punched. Believe me, none of the people that were there would have punched me or my buddy, and anything would have happened to us. Okay? I'm just saying, of the people I saw there, are there people that can punch you and knock you out? Yes. I'm not trying to be a tough guy. I'm trying to say that the media reported all these protesters. There wasn't. And then what's funny is, we were there 2 years ago when they had the march with the pink hats and all that. They had to cancel it. A lot of the people that sponsored it wouldn't sponsor it because it's so homophobic. I mean, you can go and sit and do all the research. Again, I'm not going to talk about it. It was phony. But the Right to Life march, no media coverage. Okay, I think Fox covered it, barely. Okay, it was a big deal. Okay, it should be in the USA Today. It should be in the Washington Post. It should be in the New York Times. It isn't. And it isn't for a reason. Because it doesn't. The two things didn't fit their narrative. See, they want to try to take down our president. Okay? And why are they doing it? Because they want control. Okay? And we're going into this weekend there at Davos. That's the place where all the globalists around the country go. Now, Trump and President Xi were not there. Theresa May was not there. But like Abe, Merkel, okay? All these other globalist leaders are talking about the global world. Okay, you got this guy, Ray Dalio. Okay. Couple other people. Bono, the singer. I mean, and I care about what that guy, he's talking about income inequality. Bono, I got a message for you. And for all your buddies that think about income inequality. I think you need to give all your money except for 50 or 60 grand. Since you want to be equal, because that's about what the average person has in assets, okay? And if you want to go the average person around the world, you'll get I forget the exact statistics. Give your money away. No one's stopping you. Okay? I think you should build a big hotel right in the middle of the hood. Right in the middle of Appalachia. I think in the middle of Appalachia, I think the guy needs to take his fortune and he's got, I don't know, 50, 100 million. Take 10 million and build a big place and make it be for everybody. So all the people in that area could go there. And while you're at it, do a couple benefits to pay all their expenses. Okay? Why don't we do that? Okay? But see, you're not going to do it. See, they're not going to do it. They're not going to pay their money. All this stuff, the market went down on Tuesday because of it. And then Wednesday, there was good earnings. United Tech, Procter & Gamble, United Health, all good earnings. Coca-Cola, good earnings. And what happens? Market starts going down. Well, all of a sudden, I told my followers, I said, here comes the plunge protection team. And they boosted the market right back up. Okay? What's going on here? This is a battle between the left. See, the left wants them. They want to do this. Kamala Harris is trying to announce that she's going to run for president. I mean, she was Willie Brown's mistress. Okay? And all I can say is, to quote Willie, Kamala, how am I dictate? Everybody that knows me will get that one. Okay? This is nonsense. The media should be, they're not covering that stuff. It's not mentioned anywhere. Okay? You have to do your research yourself. Okay? The markets are going to do fine. Lamb Research put out, and they make foundries in other countries, in like China. They're buying back shares. They beat their earnings. They beat their guidance. The fact that Wall Street, they need to bring down this president, and they're not going to stop it no matter what they do. Okay? So you're just going to have to, this is why, share the Truth Machine with people. Subscribe. Tell your buddies. Stand back at this. Push back. Okay? You don't have to push back physically. Okay? Dad, if you're listening, don't have to hit somebody. It's important we're going to get some statistics on our next episode. I'm working on a project. And when we get it done, you're going to really see it. And it's something that's very, very important. As far as the playoffs went last week, I mean, the game with New England, Tom Brady's Tom Brady, okay? He's great. He's the greatest. He's the greatest of all time. He was the greatest before he did all that. However, the referees in both games were lousy. And all I could say for Sean Payton is I felt bad for him and all the people in New Orleans that are listening. Someone was teasing me saying, Billy, your team went down the tubes. Folks, the truth is, New Orleans won that game. I mean, how people are going to sit and watch the Super Bowl, I couldn't do it. And then the player just came out right away and he said, yeah, I interfered. But this is what I would have done with Sean Payton if I was Sean Payton. And I've done this when I've coached a team. I will call a timeout. And I would have told the referees, look, this is what's going on. There was a penalty. You missed it. You better review it. And if you don't get it right, I'm pulling my team off the field. You want to say the game ended? You want to do forfeiting? That's fine. But you're not. We pay millions of dollars. We have refs. We have New York. I mean, there were 3 fouls on the play, really. There was face guarding. Okay. There was a blow to the head. Head-to-head contact. And I mean, the blatant one was pass interference. Every single referee should be fired. Okay? They should never work another game. In fact, they should be fined. And I'll go one step further. 2 of the people that I found out, as far as my work has gone, live in LA. You can't have someone, trust me, I'm a Browns fan. I can't referee. You wouldn't want me refereeing a Browns game like that. I probably, honestly, I would have thrown a flag there. Okay. Because I don't, I'm not trying to insult the Rams fans, but to me, I couldn't, as an athlete, I couldn't say I won that game. I just couldn't do it. It's not, I couldn't do it. I think it's horrible the way that it turned out. The league got a really black eye. Roger Goodell, someone from the league should have taken over. And they should have called down whoever, you know how they called New York to do something? Where the heck was New York? You're not reading anybody's names. Okay. The names of all these people need to be put out there. And the league should come out and say, these guys should never. As the Cleveland Browns, we lost 3 or 4 games this year because of the referees. Okay. And the league admitted on 2 occasions that they jobbed us. And in another occasion against the Raiders, they gave us a phony spot. This is $1 million, these are $1 billion franchises. This has got to be taken care of right going forward. But it's weird. You heard things online, but it wasn't. And I want to speak out to all the announcers on the television. You're all a bunch of cowards. You're cowards, except for my favorite guy who said they got it wrong, and he called it out, is Boomer Esiason. The rest of the guys, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, Michael Stray, you just stood there like a bunch of Popeye owls, okay? The Italians know what I'm talking about. And if I'd have sat there, I'd have given these guys a waloop right upside their heads for not... you're an announcer. You're supposed to say something. I don't care that the NFL... What's the NFL going to do? Fire you for telling the truth? You lost any credibility. Any of the announcers that missed that, and I didn't even watch all the other ones because it would disgust me. But anybody who's quiet about that, clearly it was a travesty. I've been watching sports for 50 plus years. I've never seen a travesty like that in my life. Not even close. Not even close. So from behind the wheel of the truth machine, this is Bill Spatrino asking you to sit back and enjoy the ride.